Hi guys, this is Sadik from Debugging.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest Matrixx ROM based on Android 14 onto Poco F5 and Redmi Note 12 Turbo. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First off, you will have to get hold of the Android SDK platform tools. So get it from my guide and extract them onto your PC. You can extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I've done the extraction in C drive, and these are the files for platform tools. Once you've done the extraction, your next course of action is to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. USB debugging is required for ADB commands, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's now enable both these toggles. For that, go to the settings menu, then go to about phone and then tap on OS version 7 times. You will get a prompt that you are now a developer. So go back and go to additional settings, and you should now see developer option. So go there and enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. You will get a prompt on your phone, check mark I am aware of all the risk, and then you will have to wait for 10 seconds. Once the time frame has elapsed, just tap on OK, and with this debugging is enabled. You might also get an RSA key prompt as well. In that case, tap on OK. Anyways, moving on, let's now verify the debugging connection. So for that, go to the platform to folder address bar, type in CMD and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside platform tools. Now type in ADB devices and hit enter, and make sure that you are getting a serial ID. If you are not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out this USB tweaks and make sure that you are getting an ID. Once you are getting this ID, your next course of action is to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do note that doing so will wipe off all the data, and it might make the warranty null and void as well. If that's well and good, you could refer to my guide and the video and get this job done using the official Me Unlock tool. And once you have unlocked the bootloader, your phone will boot to the OS. So make sure to re-enable USB debugging as well. Once that is done, you could now get hold of the ROM file. So this is the Project Matrixx ROM file. It has both the GApps and the vanilla build. The vanilla build stands for non-GApp package. As you could see, this is the vanilla build and this is the GApp packages. As of now, we'll flash the GApp packages. You may also download the vanilla build and then additionally flash the GApps, but that does not make any sense as such. So if you want GApps, then directly flash the GApps build itself, or if you don't want any Google apps, then just flash the vanilla build. Though you may flash the vanilla build right now, and if you want, then you may flash the GApps package in the near future if required as well. As of now, we will be going ahead with the GApp package. So get hold of the ROM file, and apart from that, you will also have to download the firmware file as well. So for the Poco F5, you may get hold of the firmware zip file from here. And even though you are on the latest firmware, you will still have to flash it just to be on the safer side. So let me show you what I mean. Currently, I am on the firmware version. As you could see, it's 1070 and it's UMRINXM. But still, I will download this firmware and flash it onto my phone. Again, make sure to download the same firmware which correspond to your region. For that, as you could see, the first alphabet is for the Android version. U stands for upside down cake. Then MR is the device code, which is for the Poco F5. And after that, the next two are the country code. IN is for India, EU is for Europe, MI is for global, and CN is for China. Then the XM is the firmware code, which is same for all the regions. So just make sure to download the same firmware which correspond to the region. And even if you are on the latest firmware, still download the firmware then also. And once you have got both the firmware and the ROM file, make sure to transfer both this file inside on your phone. So let me show you that as well. From here, you may change it to from charging the device to file transfer, and your phone should now be visible on your PC. So go there, and as you could see, we now have the firmware and the ROM zip file on our phone. Once you have transferred both this file, let's now proceed ahead and flash the ROM. So for that, you will have to boot your phone to fastboot mode. So type in ADB, reboot, bootloader and hit enter, and your phone will now reboot into fastboot mode in a matter of few seconds. Once that happens, type in fastboot devices and hit enter, and you should now get a serial ID. If you are not getting any ID, then you will have to install fastboot drivers on your PC. So I made a separate guide and a video on the same. You could refer to my guide and install the drivers. Once you have installed the drivers, right click on the Windows icon and select device manager. Then expand the Android phone section and make sure that your phone is being shown as Android bootloader interface. So this, as well as the serial ID next to fastboot, signify that the PC is able to read the phone in fastboot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. So let's now get started with the flashing process. So regarding this, by default, if you flash a ROM via TWRP, then once the ROM has been flashed, the TWRP recovery will be replaced by that custom recovery or the AOSP recovery of that ROM. For instance, in this case, if you flash the Matrixx ROM, then the TWRP recovery will be replaced by the AOSP Matrixx recovery. But if you want to still have TWRP recovery, then before flashing the ROM, make sure to check mark the option to automatically reflash TWRP after flashing a ROM. So in our case, we will flash the ROM at step 7. So right before that, make sure that you check mark this option. If you don't check mark this option, then the TWRP recovery will be replaced by the AOSP recovery on your phone. So it's completely optional. If you want the AOSP recovery, then leave this option unchecked. On the other hand, if you want to have a TWRP recovery on the Project Matrixx ROM, then make sure to check mark this option as well. So in my case, it's my personal opinion. So I usually want to have the TWRP recovery because the recovery has additional features when compared with the AOSP recovery. So in my case, I will check mark this option, but for you it's completely optional depending on your need and requirement. So with that said, let's now move ahead and flash the recovery file onto our phone. So first and foremost, we'll have to install the TWRP recovery onto our phone. I have made a separate guide and a video on the same. Still, let me show you how to get this job done. So the step 1, step 2 and step 3 are done. Now you have to download the recovery file for your phone. Make sure to download this first recovery file, TWRP Android 14. And once you have got the recovery file, it should be in an IMG format. And it should be something like this marble s_k.img. So copy the IMG file and transfer it inside the platform tools folder. Once you have done the transfer, rename it to TWRP and the complete name becomes twrp.img. It will now be easier to type in the CMD window. So now you will have to boot your phone to Fastboot mode, which we have done already. And since our phone has a recovery partition, we could directly flash the recovery in the recovery partition. In this regard, you could either manually flash the recovery file to both the recovery A and the recovery B partition, or combine both this command into a single command and flash the recovery into both the partition at once. And we will be taking this approach because it is shorter and easier to carry out. So just type in this command, it will automatically flash the recovery file to both the A and B partition at once. So copy the command and paste it in the CMD window and hit enter. And it will take only a few seconds. And as you could see, the recovery has been flashed. Let's now verify the same. So go to Fastboot, reboot, recovery and hit enter. And our phone should now reboot into TWRP. It should take only a few seconds. And if that happens, then the recovery has been flashed successfully. As you could see, we are now inside the recovery, so it has been flashed. So let's now proceed ahead with the ROM flashing. So in this regard, your first course of action is to wipe the Dalvik art cache, the cache and the data partition. So before starting, make sure you have taken a backup of all the data on your phone. If that's well and good, go to wipe, advanced wipe and checkmark Dalvik art cache, cache and the data partition and do a right swipe to wipe this partition. Once that is done, you will now have to flash the firmware and then the ROM file. So first off, let's flash the firmware file. Go to install, select the firmware zip file. This is the firmware zip file and do a right swipe to flash it. And once that is done, it will take only around 4 to 5 seconds. So let's just wait, and the flashing is now complete. Now let's flash the ROM file. But before that, again I'm repeating, if you want to have TWRP recovery even after flashing the ROM, then make sure to check mark this option. On the other hand, if you don't do so, then the TWRP will be replaced by the AOSP recovery. The choice is all yours. In my case, I will check mark this option because I still want the TWRP recovery. So now select the ROM zip file, and before moving ahead, let's check mark automatically reflash TWRP after flashing a ROM. And once that is done, perform a right swipe to flash it. The flashing of the ROM file will now start, and it could take up to around 6 to 8 minutes. So let's just wait for that to happen. So guys, once the ROM has been flashed, you might get a few error messages. These are completely normal and nothing to worry about. Just make sure that you are getting a successful message at the install zip section. If that's well and good, then let's move ahead with the next step. Now you will have to do a format data. So go to wipe, go to format data, type in yes and hit the blue check mark. Once that is done, you might again get a few error message. If you're getting any error message, then that's completely normal. Just make sure that you are getting a success message. So in my case, I'm getting a failed message. That's not an issue. Simply go back, again go back, again go back, go to reboot and select recovery, and your phone will now reboot to the recovery. It depends if you have check mark the automatically reflash TWRP, then your phone will reboot to TWRP. On the other hand, if you haven't check mark that option, then your phone will then reboot to the USB recovery, which is the Matrixx recovery. In our case, I have check marked this option, so I am now inside the TWRP recovery. So irrespective of the recovery, you will now again have to do a format data. So go to Vibe, format data, type in yes and hit the blue check mark. And this time around, as you could see, we are getting the successful message. So this signifies that the formatting has been done and we could now reboot our phone to the OS. So just tap on reboot system. So just to repeat, once you have flashed the firmware zip file and flashed the ROM zip file, you will have to do a format data. So first off, after flashing the ROM zip file, you may get a few error message. That is completely normal. Just make sure that you are getting the successful message. If that's well and good, go ahead and do a format data. If you could do a format data, well and good. If you are not able to do a format data, then go to reboot and choose recovery. Your phone will then reboot to the recovery mode, and from the recovery, once again try to do a format data, and this time there should be no issue in doing a format data. And once the format data has been done, simply choose reboot to system and your phone will then reboot to the newly flashed OS. As you could see, this is the boot animation of the ROM, and the first boot up will take up some additional time frame. This is completely normal and nothing to worry about. From the subsequent time, that will not be the case. So let's just wait for the phone to boot up and then we will check out the ROM features as well. So guys, we are now inside the OS, and trust me, this took around 5 minutes. This is the longest that I have to wait for any custom ROM. So if there is a delay in your case as well, then don't worry, it's the normal delay. In my case, it took around 5 minutes for that to happen, so it's quite well and good. And now if you want, you may restore your phone as of now right away, but for me, I will skip this, and let's skip this as well. I will set up my phone offline and restore the data later on, and let's simply accept all the terms and conditions and skip this as well. And our phone is now up and ready. So let me accept all the terms and conditions, and it's the gesture navigation, and with this we are now inside the OS. So this is the app drawer and this is the browser that the ROM comes inbuilt with, and apart from that you have the QS tiles as you could see over here. Then if you go to the settings menu, as you might be aware, the Matrixx settings is the USP of this ROM, where you could find all the tweaks and tricks. So let me show you. First off is the button tweaks, wherein you could enable the partial screenshot feature. Then you have the power menu tweaks, wherein you could enable enable or disable the option in the power menu. Likewise, you could also enable advanced restart. In the advanced restart, you get the options to reboot to the recovery, fastboot mode, system UI, and all such features. Then apart from that, you have the option to end the call or long press the power menu for torch, or you may use the volume buttons to wake the device and carry out all such tasks. Then you have the lock screen tweaks. First off is the clock style. You may choose from all these clock styles. There are quite a lot of clock style. So let's go with the clock custom 2, and it's a unique one. It looks quite nice. Likewise, let me check with the clock custom 1. It's a basic one. You may choose from any of this clock style, and do keep in mind that this is different from the clock style that we get from over here. Both of them are different. If you implement the first one, you will not be able to implement the second one. So for instance, likewise, if I choose as of now, let's go with the unique one such as the nothing font, or let's go with this font style. And if I go back, you might not be able to see any changes. For that, you will first and foremost have to choose the default font over here, and then only the clock will be changed. So either you first choose the clock font style from here and then make the changes. So if now I choose any of the clock styles such as the sidebar clock, and then you could see, so the changes have been implemented. So you could only choose one of these two clock style, and this one is looking quite nice. Let me see it, and as you could see, this is the clock style. Let me keep it this one as well. Apart from that, you may enable the battery info, the media cover art, and all such tweaks. Do keep in mind that these tweaks on the lock screen will lead to additional battery drainage, so only enable them if that's well and good for you. Then we have a few miscellaneous tweaks as well. First off, you may hide the developer status. That's quite good to see. I haven't seen this feature in many apps, in many ROMs. So using this, you may hide the OEM unlocking, or rather the USB debugging and developer option from the apps. As of now, I don't have any user installed app, so the option is empty, but you may enable for the system app, as you could see over here. and as soon as you install any third-party app, all the apps should be shown here, and then you may enable them for that as well. Apart from that, you may also unlock higher FPS in games. Then you have the unlimited photo storage. Your phone will be spoofed to the Google Pixel XL, and you will get unlimited Google Photos storage in original quality without any compression. Then you also have the Netflix spoof. So if you use a custom ROM, then the byte 1 L1 certification will be downgraded to L3. But using this option, you will get back the L1 certification, and you'll be able to watch all the DRM content in full HD 1080p, whether it's from Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime. Apart from that, you may enable swipe to take screenshot, as you could see, and then we have a tweaks with regard to the navigation bar. You may enable and disable the navigations. As of now, I'm using the gesture navigation, and then there are a few notification tweaks as well. This is for the toast navigation. Toast notification that appears at the bottom when you interact, such as the USB debugging have been enabled, and all such notifications are the toast notification. You may choose their styles as well, and you may add a force stop button in the notification long press menu. Let me check that as well. And this is the force stop button, as you could see. You may interact with it as well, and there are a few others notification tweaks as well. Then this is the QS styles. You may choose a header image from here. In the QS style, let's choose a static image, and there are a couple of images. Let's go with the Avengers, and the same have been implemented. Apart from that, you may also add your own image. For that, you will have to choose a custom image, then go to the image section and choose the image of your choice. And apart from that, you may also choose the battery style over here, and the same will be implemented at the top right. Then you may choose the battery percentage either inside the icon, battery icon, or the right side. Then you may enable or disable the battery slider and change the position as well. As of now, it's at the top. You may change it to the bottom as well. For instance, if you choose it bottom, then it will be at the bottom, as you could see. Then you also have the option to enable and disable auto brightness, and the battery percentage will be shown if you enable this toggle. Then the QS panel size, QS tiles layout, you may choose the layout as well, and the UI, it will go back to Android 11. Then you have only 2 per column. That does not look nice to me. Let me go back to the default one. And you may also choose the shape from here. This is the rounded rectangle, and the next one is the round, simply round. There isn't any much difference apart from that. Then you may change the number of tiles per column, as you could see from here. By default, it's 2 and 4, the number of rows and columns. Then you have the animation style. If you choose rotate, then when you interact with them, then it will undergo a rotation, as you could see. Apart from that, we have a few tweaks with regard to the sound as well. You may enable the pulse notification and navigation bar pulse and lock screen pulse. Again, all this will lead to additional battery drainage as well. And then you may enable the volume percentage. So I have enabled it currently, and as you could see, this is the volume percentage. Currently it's at 66%, and you may change the location of the percentage as well. And apart from that, you have a few status bar tweaks. You may enable or disable and remove the status bar icons if you want. Then you may change the clock style to the left or right. As of now, you could see it's on the right. By default, it's on the left. Then you have the network traffic monitor to show the network traffic in MB, KBs or GBs. And you may change the LTE and bring in the 4G icon. And there are a few other. You may also, as you could see, the icon currently are in the white color. You may instead enable it in a colored icon, and it will show the exact same as it is there in the app drawer. Then apart from that, you may enable the notification count, and it will show the numbers next to each app in the app drawer. And then you have the logo. You may enable a custom logo at the top of the status bar, at the top left or the right. As you could see, it's the Matrixx logo. Let's go with the biohazard, and as you could see, it's have been implemented. Likewise, this is the Spider-Man logo. It's completely optional and just a UI tweak. Then you may choose the battery style as well. There are quite a lot of styles to choose from. This is the landscape iOS 16, and as you could see, the change has been implemented. Then you may enable the double tap to sleep or wake the phone as well. The quick pull down will automatically expand the section, as you could see over here. If you keep it turned off, then you will have to do it a couple of times. If you turn off, then at first you will get only this, and then you will again have to expand it. But by keeping it enabled, you may simply expand it at one single swipe. And apart from that, you have a few UI tweaks. There are quite a few UI tweaks. So in Monet settings, it will automatically pick up the major color from the wallpaper and apply it across the UI and UX. So if we choose a custom color, let's say blue, and then it will be implemented across the OX, UI, UX, and the system UI might undergo a restart. This is completely normal. It also have a few themes of its own. You may also choose from these themes and the same will be implemented. And apart from that, you have a navigation bar styles for the 3-button navigation. Then this is the font style which you could choose from. There are again quite a lot of font style. This is the Evolution X font style. You may apply it and check out the and apart from that, you have the OnePlus Sans font as well. And then you have around 8 to 10. This is the Surfer font. Let me apply it as well. The same font style will be implemented across the OS, UI and UX and every element of the Android OS. Let's get back to the default font style and apply it. And with that, you have the icon pack as well. The same will be shown in the status bar. These are the icon packs as you could see. Then apart from that, you have the icons for the 4G or the carrier data icons which you could choose from. And this is the Wi-Fi icon size. There are again quite a lot of icon styles to choose from, and then the icon shape, and the same will be shown in the app drawer. So for instance, this is the hexagon, and as you could see, the entire app drawer and the home screen has been gone with hexagon. And apart from that, you may enable the ambient display and the AOD as well. This will again lead to additional battery drainage. In my case, I've already enabled AOD as you could see from here. So let me show you the AOD. This is the AOD. It will always keep enabled the display and might lead to additional battery drainage. So if that's well and good, then you could keep it enabled. Then you may also enable Smart Pixel. This will shut down most of the pixel and save some battery. As you could see, the display has been slightly lowered, the brightness has been slightly lowered, and if you turn it off, then it's the default nature. And apart from that, you may also enable themed icons. For that, you will have to go to the wallpaper and style section, and from here simply go to the home screen, and from here you may change the font style. And okay, so there is no option to enable themed icons. That's quite strange to see. Anyways, you may change the icon style from here, and apart from the icon style, you have the app grid and the default wallpaper. Likewise, if you change the wallpaper, then the color will also be changed. Again, I am repeating, it will pick up the dominant color from the wallpaper. As of now, it's along the lines of blue and green, the ocean green you could say, or the ocean blue, and it will pick up that color. Then you have a few other colors as well. If you want, you may change the theme color, and the same has been implemented. Then you may also go to other colors and pick up other color as well. The only thing missing is the themed icons, which I cannot find as of now. So if you are able to find that option, do let me know in the comments. And apart from that, this is the UI and UX of the settings menu. Looks quite nice and unique. So guys, on that note, I round off this video. If you have any queries, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.